You ready, mate? Party people in the place to be. It's about that time for us to. Yeah, what you know about going out? Head west, red legs, TV, talking in the headrest, trying to live it up, right?
Welcome to DJM. Don't judge, man. I am your host, Eugenius. We've got Thejan on the camera. To my right, we have Just a Bus. We have Nai. We have NK. To my left, we have Marlon. We have Reeks. And we have...
HE double. Always get to the point. Fuck it, I never get to the point. Let's do this.
Alright. Before we get started, obviously it's springtime now. Everyone's feeling good. We feeling good? We feeling good? We feeling good?
Indeed.
Yeah, all the greenery, all the daffodils. Wait a minute.
I said greenery and back.
Wait a minute. Santiago! Alright, so, okay, I see you.
International break now?
Yeah, I see it, man. I see it. Shout out Chikorita. Anyway, before we get on to the spring talk and all the great things that are going to be happening during the season, things that I've heard, Marcus Garvey is potentially closing. For me, Marcus Garvey is a centre that I wouldn't say I was a regular attendee of, but I know my parents were, I know my grandparents have been. And for that centre to be closed, or potentially be closed, is a massive, massive shock to myself. I don't know about you.
It's a myth.
Yeah, like family members go?
Yeah. Fam, it's a community staple though, isn't it? Even if we didn't go there to rave like they did, like, look at all the things that they used to do in summer and that.
I think it was the first place I went to, like, you know, like first ever event.
Yeah.
Proper dance, innit?
Very, yeah.
Proper dance.
I mean, we grew up as Rastafarians, and I think I went 12 tribe dance or something like that. I think that was the first place I went to from there on. From that day till when I go today. Just see man hanging around the toilets on a day distance. Yeah, I'm gonna miss it. But no, seriously though, it's
But I think that brings me on to a point that I've spoke to various different leaders about, and I spoke to my peers as well, around having our own building, a black-owned building. So I think a lot of the places, whether it's, I don't know if man went to Tyson Green Boys Club, shout out Ted.
yeah.
But there's been a lot of places where, like Acna as well, Acna.
I think people assume that Marcus was our own, do you know what I mean? But clearly it's not.
No.
It was just named.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is the council's, but nevertheless, you know what I mean? It's like there's no reason why. I think that's what it is. I think that's with the meeting tomorrow. The meeting is just why. You know what I mean? Just that's, they've not given no reason as to why. It's just after so many years, just shut up shop. And I think the place where they'll be able to, because it's like they do with the elderly there and look after them in the day and stuff.
But yeah, I think that's the thing as well. Like the Windrush generation already has been just dealt like some underhand, like all types of bad hand.
He would have thought that even just as a PR for their own PR, that they wouldn't even mess with the Windrush generation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. People go there, play dominoes, and do you know what I mean? Like, it's just
food.
Eat food there. It's just a great place, and I feel like we need to somehow work together to try and get our own building, whether it's for weddings, whether it's for events, whether it's for funerals even. I feel like, especially myself, being doing numerous events, whether it's fashion shows or what type of events, asking someone who can use your venue or use that venue. I think we had a black-owned building where what's central, whether it's even a dance school where people can go to, whether it's to get advice on different situations they're going through. I feel like having our own black-owned building would do a lot for our community. Will do a lot for the city. I won't even say the city. I think the area, so East Midlands in general, knowing that Nottingham's got that. Yeah, it's a hub for, and there's a lot of people within our city who definitely grew up in the Acnas and the boys clubs that would like to give back and like to look after that venue. And I feel like although you may get people from different walks of life coming in, using, and not everyone's going to be of a great spirit, but I feel like the people who run it, I feel like when it's your own, you'll definitely look after it.
I think that's part of the cure and the problem as well. So like really and truly, we have a whole plethora of like leaders that own these places, or more to the point that cover these places and always have been. People know who they are because they're stood behind the bar watching everything run. You know, they're the people that deal with the summits, everything when it comes to understanding what decisions get made in these buildings. But at the same time, these are also the same people that are so invested in how much money it can make them or bring them back that sometimes the selfish part kicks in, or their consortium who they deal with are thinking more about the pound signs and thinking less about exactly what helps the community tick. I mean, if this is going to happen, in my opinion, I feel like the next generation coming up, because really and truly, we've seen the most entrepreneurs come from this generation than probably our predecessors, because more of us are literally going out, starting our own businesses, you know, coming off the back of experiences that we've had in life and starting our own businesses. Why don't we all kind of pour that into it?
I disagree with that, because I definitely know, well, even my parents were doing a lot of stuff. That's where I feel like my creativity came from my mum, my dad. But even further than that, my granddad used to, like, he was a carpenter, so he used to make toys out of wood. My grandma's done crazy amounts of stuff. I feel like now it's just more opportunity for our generation, but I wouldn't say we're doing more. I think it's more
different opportunities as well.
Look at the outlets we've got now compared to what.
That's what.
As well.
But going on to the point you're saying about being more sort of pursuing money or pursuing sort of that profit, I feel like when you are renting, you've got to always try and get people in so you can pay your rent, so you can do that. With a business that's our own, I think we'll be investing in it anyway if something needs repairing. Because I wouldn't say I'm completely knowledgeable on it, but I think the Asian community have got stupid amounts of buildings that their whole community put in together and look after that. And I feel
communism over capitalism, innit?
Yeah, so I feel like if we had a building of our own, I don't feel, well, hopefully, I don't feel like it'll be a profit-driven one. I think it'll be sort of a
self-perpetuating.
Yeah, one where we are trying to excel our own people and have a safe haven.
Is ACNA not owned then?
No, it's still not ours. It's still not ACNA's not ours. No. Technically, we've got no. And obviously, ACNA is a place that people go for everything. Yeah, for everything. But it's not actually our own building.
It's crazy, isn't it? How people can get together for partner, but don't want to put in for.
But this is what I'm saying. Like the people that are setting their priorities on a different level. They're not always thinking about like the community. I mean, even we're guilty of it sometimes. Where, say for example, we'd rather go on a night out instead of kind of, I don't know, going and feeding back into the community. It just is what it is. It takes a while for you to realise exactly what makes the community tick for you to actually live in the society instead of thinking about your own wants and needs. And they're the kind of people that I feel need to be at the forefront of a change like this.
I agree, but I also disagree because I feel like it's about your mentality. So there'll be people like, whether it's protesting or like vouching for Marcus Garvey to remain open, whereas I feel this conversation is about having our own building. I feel like people will go to ACNA as I'll use you as an example, thinking that it's our building, but it's not. So I think it's just knowing the avenues of doing it. Like I work in schools, work with children who, there's a lot of children who want to be professional footballers. So I'm like, yeah, you might have a passion for football, but what about if you don't make it? What's your route? Well, I don't know, it might be a coach. Why don't you be a chairman? Why don't you own your own football club? If you've got a passion for it, you can do that. I think it's just knowing that there's no limits. And I feel like if we set a stone, like, council should give us our building. Yeah, that's one limit, but why don't we own our own building? I think that's just the mentality that people may not know that they can grasp. So sometimes I don't think it's purposefully how they're like, I'll just pay to go to this club. It's knowing that you can actually own your own club. So I think sometimes it's a conversation knowing, because someone listening now be like, oh, okay, we can own our own club, let's have a look. And that look will go to a meeting, that meeting will go to raising funds or talking about how it's gonna. So I feel sometimes it's just saying this is a different avenue we can go. Obviously I'd love Marcus Garvey, I hope it stays open, and I hope
Is it closing down?
Well, there's going to be talks.
Surely not though. It's the building, right? I think
I think it may change to something else. Something away from.
Not Marcus Garvey Centre no more.
It may change. Keep doing student complexes everywhere. When you think each student has a price on their head, don't they? Students,
and it's
you got debt to pay. Price on your head, it's valuable.
Or office blocks.
This is it. And half the time you see the office blocks, still no one's in them. You still see the sign to rent. You know what I mean? They put it up to Riga. with no bias as well.
It's mad.
So yeah, I think it's just a conversation knowing that could potentially happen. So hopefully I go to the meeting tomorrow, and I will be making sure I mention that. But staying on that topic sort of loosely, where was the places that you used to go as youths? Like I say, shout out Ted at Boys Club and Donovan. I remember Donovan.
Pillars, of course.
But yeah, those are the men and women who was there. Yeah, legends. Where did you used to go? Where was you?
Right, me, it was Sycamore Centre, which is next door to that now.
Yeah.
Or Russell,
Russell,
man, quite a lot still.
Yeah, Russell and Sycamore, yeah.
10 toes, innit? 10 toes.
John Carroll, you know.
I forgot. That's what I'm saying. I forgot about John Carroll. Yeah.
Boys Club, Tennis Centre. Tennis Centre?
Yeah.
Tennyson, just that, down the road. Yeah, mad.
There's something.
Yeah. Same places. Open mic at Boys Club and all them things there. Venturing Bill. Yo,
he got them back in the day.
Look, that slide, fire. Go back up the hill was a problem. Slide down, fire.
Yo, another one in Rad, it was ACF.
ACFF,
Wow.
They had a sick part.
Wow, was that
Horse money on there. Horse money.
No street.
But this is what I'm saying. Look how many places we're mentioning with fond memories. Imagine if this was one place, that the whole like a complex where everyone from every community, and I'm not saying it's just for people of colour to go to, but it's a place where everyone can say
Because No Street, that wasn't owned by us. That was just everyone went there. Council owned, everyone went there. Was it a leisure centre?
Yeah. And summertime they had the inflatables, swimming.
Yeah. I used to go. Was it football? It was.
Football.
They had a separate location. Indoor.
Did you say you used to play football?
No, I never used to go play football. I used to go down there for the
Score from corners, yeah? Scoring from corners from early! From early!
I can kick ball though still, don't get me twisted. I don't play football, but I can.
Looking like Dylan White playing football like you know.
Christian Dior right here.
Oh my lord.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no,
Do you play football?
Christian Dior.
I'm saying playing dark skin Christian Dior, the lyric, not no football reference.
See, I thought you were like player. Yeah, shout out Christian Dior.
Send me something in it.
The brand, yeah. We talk about the brand.
I'm thinking about a football player.
I did that.
You know about a player?
No, I wasn't.
See.
Dark skin Christian Dior.
It's the dark skin version. It's cool.
Yeah, well, on that note, hopefully on our next podcast or a couple of podcast time, we can hopefully say that there's been developments in terms of Marcus Garvey and hopefully talks in terms of an iron building. On to the next topic. Again, it hit me quite hard, not in terms of my affinity to him or my sort of allegiance to the show, but just how it happened. I don't know if you heard Mike from Love Island recently passed away. The police did say it didn't look like it was anyone else involved, so potentially
they were saying it was suicide.
I've not seen yet. I didn't know if that was officially said. So what do we think on that topic?
You know what, on a serious note, like, it's nice to see that the show itself has took the necessary precautions to make sure that, like, after the fame hits, that these guys have got someone to talk to. I don't think, like, I was having this conversation the other day where basically, like, you get these guys, they're hopefuls, they think they're influencers, they've got followings of people that they don't see, and, you know, it's all cool, they're counting the likes, all that. And then as soon as they get put in that camera, they get put in the spotlight, they're kind of doing things that really they probably wouldn't do in the real, but it's creating their buzz and everything like that. And then when the show ends and the fame hits them, they've got cameras on them every single day, like, people are inside their lives, they're getting endorsements, the money's coming, like, their wildest dreams are being met. But really and truly, were they ever really ready to embrace their wildest dreams like that and so quick? like without putting in their 10,000 hours or whatever, like they're getting absolutely smacked over the head with it. And really and truly, you're then faced with that whole thing where people think that they've got it all, but really they don't have anything.
Well, when was he on lockdown?
2 years ago. Yeah, like not last year, but the year
the
before.
opposite though. Couldn't it have been couldn't handle the decline because there's nothing coming in?
Yeah.
I think it's.
Well, no,
I think it's even more basic than that. I feel, for me, I think it's a bigger issue. The fact that people from the outside, he looked like he had it all, or didn't have it all, but he had a lot going for him. So whether it was the opportunities he had, the endorsements, the females he was linked to, and I think he had a business about to start, but not knowing that whatever he was going through, he could share that with friends. And I feel like, especially for males, I feel it's hard for males to express how they feel. And to say, do you know what, I'm not okay. I feel like that's a big thing, especially on social media.
Like friends in it as well. It's hard, isn't it?
On social media, people could put on a brave face and act, but I feel like there's not many. Well, hopefully, like, you lot know that I'm emotional, so I'll tell you whatever. Like whether it's good, bad, I'll tell you. But hopefully, you lot all feel the same. That if you are going through something, obviously you might have significant others. But knowing that your boys are someone that you can talk to, and knowing that he got himself in a situation where he felt like he couldn't turn to anyone else, and that was his only option. But
that's the thing, you know what man them are like, innit, as well. Like, you can imagine it being in a group chat, and people are like probably laughing about the very things that he obsesses over. And then he's like, oh, you know what, can't really tell my man that, because if I rear up here, I'm just going to be the subject to the banter.
No, 2 days before that, his grandma died. And at Christmas, his best friend died. So there was already, like, people would have known that he wouldn't have been in the best situation. But still, whether it's from the side of his friends reaching out, or whether it's from him not being able to express, I feel like that is something that is becoming, I wouldn't say common, but you're just hearing about it more than we have done before. I don't know if you've got any thoughts on this side.
So a few weeks ago, I buried one of my good friends that we kind of grew up with, and he hung himself. Rest in peace, Josh. Love my brother. Yeah, it's difficult. You don't really realise how bad things are until something like this happens. Again, when people say to you, oh, you alright, everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm alright, man, I'm cool. But then it's not very often that you get the opportunity to be like, yo, what's really going on? You good? And not saying that it's people's fault, but it's just how we are. It's just how we go. And again, not everyone finds it easy to have that conversation about what things are going on, because, as you know, we are all very judgmental and we all have our own views. And like you say, you're emotional and you talk about things, but some man have got too much pride. They don't want to. They don't want to put that out there. But no, I can't lie to you. It's probably one of the hardest things in my life. Like, 1,000,001 things is going through my mind. Like, so sometimes I even thought to myself, like, yo, could I have done anything else?
Yes.
So yeah, sometimes I thought to myself, like, could I have done more? Could I have, like, called him? Could I have said to him, yo, like, I could have maybe called him at Christmas time, because obviously my wife's pregnant, and I could have said, yo, you're gonna be an uncle, I'm having a daughter, blah blah blah. And I feel like, not that I'm trying to take responsibility for it, but I'm trying to justify it in my mind to be like, provide a solution to that situation. But again, once, when he was struggling with mental health, and I think a lot of kids and a lot of people are struggling with mental health, and they don't have an out. They don't feel like they want to talk. No, they're not encouraged to talk. They don't feel safe. They don't want to do it. So
you know what? And with that, you're saying that I think there's a lot more encouragement at the moment, especially in the media. I say at the moment around mental health, and particularly suicide as well. But again, I think when people are in the grips of like being in like low mental health, I don't think, as you say, there is that avenue. They don't think they realise that there is help out there, and they may think, oh well, you can't help me. Yeah, I'm past help. So I think there's something needs to be done.
I think that goes from, sorry to cut you.
No, go ahead.
I think that goes from like education. You know how when you're younger you're not taught the basics of mortgage, how to deal with your finances, I think there needs to be like a social support unit, or even from a like a mindful class at school, or from a young age, so you know if you're going through, not that everyone is going to go through mental health, but if you're going through difficult periods of your life, there are options for you to do, whether it's speaking to somebody, whether it's, I don't know, you've got Samaritans, right, that you can call, just somebody to listen, because I think when you're in the depths of depression or you're going through a madness, it's easy to be withdrawn and have conversations with yourself and get further down the rabbit hole, as opposed to going out and reach, even if it's your mum or your boy, just picking up the phone. So I think awareness is where it would potentially begin.
I think before that though, I feel like, again, from my experience of working with children, I think it starts with the parents or having that support system where, I'll give like an example of like boys. A boy, I don't know, 5-6-year-old runs over, trips up, starts crying, cuts his leg. Knowing that, especially if you're a father, being able to say, yeah, I know it might hurt, we can sort it out. That I see you expressing the pain. That's one way of doing it, but another way could be stop crying, you're fine. And then that child already is sort of like, I shouldn't cry if I'm hurt. And that just a little thing like that can develop over years and years. And obviously, we live in a culture now where, like, say you're dating someone, you break up, you've got to act like, I'm not hurt, like I'm fine, like this isn't, I'm heartbroken. I feel like for males it's a lot more like you've got to just always be strong, and I feel like it's not, you're not weak by expressing your emotion. I feel like you're strong from expressing your emotion.
I was about to say, redefining what strength means. Like, from having a young son myself, I'm understanding what that's like from the very little things that my child does. So like, he'll run up and say, for example, he'll just drop a fly kick out of nowhere.
On you?
He'll do madness like that. Wild. No, he's mad. He's mad. But like, or like, you'll say, oh, do you remember when like Uncle Nathan taught me this? And you'll right hook me in the face. But
hell, wow.
No doubt. You'll say, you need help.
We'll get
Yo, pray for HG. Pray for HG.
You know what it is. Like, we'll be playing fighting something, a spot that it's not like you just
right now.
We got you. But no, like, and what will happen is that like he will do that to the full extent of his force, and I will show that it hurts, but in truth, it actually. I ain't gonna see, there's no problem right here.
No, back to your point though. See what we've all kind of done there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This could be a genuine situation. So, nah.
No, I was about to say, let me get to my point. So obviously he sees that like when that happens and whatever, and he'll keep going and whatever, it'll be a play fight. And to me, I'll never show that, say for example, that ever hurts or anything like that. And he's built in his head that basically that is bulletproof, to the point where if anything happens, daddy doesn't cry about anything, or daddy doesn't feel any pain about anything, and like he feels that he has to adopt that same mentality. And then say for example, if something does hurt, like he's seen me when I've been emotional about my uncle dying and stuff, and he'll see me, or when I go to my grandmother's grave, which is not often, but when I do, like that sets me off, and he'll look at me like, and he won't know how to feel, because as far as he's concerned, these things don't happen with his dad. And it's up to me at that point to say, you know what, son, like at the end of the day, there are going to be things that challenge you mentally, there's going to be things that challenge you physically, but however your outlet is, whether that's crying, whether that's, you know, going out for a run, anything that you need to do in order to allow that emotion to come out, you've got to let it happen. Because when it's pent up, that's when it gets dangerous.
But you know what, saying that, like for myself, I feel like I'm the pillar in a lot of like my family's and friends' lives. So when I've been going through certain things, it's like no one don't realise, because they expect me to be that rock all the time.
Yeah, it is.
So when I was going through certain things, I remember with my mum, that I'm one of the people that I'm always respectful to my elders. And me and my mum had an argument, and she was like, nah, something's not right. And I was at my house and she's like, I'm coming round. I'm like, nah, I'm good, just don't come round. She came round anyway, long story short. And that's why I shout out to my mum. I got the utmost respect and love for my mum because no one around me could see it.
They know though.
Like I knew for myself something weren't right, but she just knew. And I don't know if it's a mother's thing or what, but she just knew. And
mother's thing.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Maybe, I don't know. But as I say, I was looking at it thinking to myself, well, if my mum can see it, she hardly even sees me, like physically, we speak all the time. But my brethren, people around me can't see it. I was thinking to myself, and then I kind of looked at it and thought, people go about their day-to-day life. If your rock is there, you're not going to expect your rock to have any cracks. And that's kind of going back to what you were saying about your son with you. But again, at the same time, I just feel like, for me, I keep myself in. Like, you express yourself. So is by keeping it in, is that bad? Is
No.
It's individual differences.
You know,
work for each other. So
with that, like, again, a lot of people that are like, so just going back to like my friend, he didn't have any family that really gave him that encouragement or that support. And a lot of the time, I think he was just craving love from his family, and he couldn't get it because of situations that they was in at the time and stuff that they were going through, you know, for themselves. And again, I totally understand what you're saying, but at the same time, it's not everyone has that opportunity to be able to have strong, independent people, or just strong people to be around them, or to take encouragement and love and motivation from. It's hard.
I think revisiting my point in terms of the social network or your family, then you've got, it's twofold, because there's people that don't grow up with families or foster care or whatever they're in, but they don't have that support network. That's why I'm saying they may encourage it through the school system, because everyone goes to school, right? So there should be something in place there to support that, also alongside dealing with normal life, because more so the troubles or the depression side of things is coming from things that you don't know how to experience, or you don't know how to deal with it. So I know personally from a personal experience, growing older, the things that would stress me, say 5 years ago, I brushed that off now, because I know I've dealt with it, I've gone through it, I've evolved, and I know how to develop myself. Whereas those people that may not have that social network or support network, each new situation that they're in is critical. They don't know how to react, they don't know how to evolve. So
what you might see as something small might be massive to someone else.
Another situation that I see quite a bit, being like in the football circles, like young teenagers who looked at whether it's school level, looked at it going to be the next big thing, and then they don't get a contract, whether it's a YTS contract or a professional contract, and then just at square one, people are like, yo, I thought he was playing that sort of conversation, that sort of breaking the barriers of thinking, I didn't make it, or this is why I've not done this, and going back to the ends or going back to where they're from without that sort of So I feel it's also about teaching young adults, or everyone, whatever age you are, that you will get failures, you will suffer L's, as how you try and develop from those L's.
That's something that the company that I work for, currently working in secondary schools, that's something like workshops that we're doing that's bringing out more knowledge about these things, because I don't think they know about it. They don't know what's accessible, they don't know where to go, and I'm always encouraging obviously the youth of today to try and come out and talk. You know, it doesn't, and I'll share my own experiences.
That's
I show them a bit of emotion, because I think it's real. These things, it's real to me. So, and I'm in tune with who I am. So I'm more than happy to share my emotions and show them, like, look, yo, it's all right. Like. And I've had quite a lot of success from quite a lot of students that have come to me afterwards, like, so, you know, I don't know how to...
I feel that's definitely something from youth. No matter what you say, like, you could talk the best talk ever, but I think they feel what you say more. So you don't even have to say it a lot.
You have to be a credible source as well. I think that's important.
I feel
that's important, only because...
When you say credible, how are you...
As in, say, for example, in a relatable sense. So
I would have said that.
So when I used to work in, like... Ball Academy, for example, like you used to see a lot of the teachers there that could never reach any of the kids on a personal level, and as a result of that, you know, they were looking at these people who they would never be, or they would never understand their situations. So when they're trying to take them to one side and give them the inspirational talk, like you can do what you can do, and if you just apply your mind, this, that, and whatever, it's going in one ear and out the other, because sir or miss, they don't understand what we do, or they don't understand where we're coming from. Like, you know, they probably lived out in Cambridge or something. Like we don't F with that. And then as soon as they talk to me, it's like, yo, sir, what would you do? And I was like, listen, there was a time when I did this and this and this. Oh yeah, yo, you're from here, innit? You know what you're doing. And then they understand that even though I'm older than them, I went through similar struggles to them, and in some ways I'm still surrounded by that, but yet I've come up head and shoulders above it because I've done the right things that I'm trying to instill in them. And sometimes that's the difference. If they can see something that they can relate to and see the successes of that relation, they know that there's another way out.
You know, back to the mic thing, yeah, like fame, I think that's a curse.
Yeah, I said it
that's an absolute curse. Like, especially for reality stars, I think for argument's sake, I don't know, obviously he was doing football before, but if you think about some of the people that came before him, like Geordie Shore people, yeah? Like, I was watching that Charlotte show yesterday, and I'm thinking, she's made some mad whop off that. And she seems to have a good team around, she's got a family around her that have kind of helped her through whatever she's dealing with. But and there's that Chloe Ferry as well, and they go through stuff like on the socials, yeah, where people are going at them, saying some horrible stuff. So I don't know if Mike was going through that and seeing people talk. Because imagine every single day, you've got love, but then you've got people hating on you all the time.
And it's not small; it's big
on
boy
a
hate.
And it's stuff that you probably hate about yourself, or just like you've noticed. So if that's niggling away at you 24/7, and it's not even just that, you're in the public eye all the time, so you've got to be fly all the time, or you've got to be proper. You can't go shops no more looking dead car.
I think that's down to your own personal.
So?
Like, if I definitely do think it's about your own character. Like, if you want to play act up and you want to live that role, then fair enough, you live that role. But I think you have the choice. Again, like we said, choice last week. I think you have the choice. If I want to go shop rags, I'll go shop rags.
Yeah, but
it's about your own.
You think that's taken away from most celebrities?
No, I don't think so. No, I feel, and obviously you lot might laugh, but you lot will know that I love Kanye West. I love his faults. I love obviously his pros. But I feel like someone like him, he literally will say and do whatever he feels.
Because do you think he's lost his like?
No, but that's what.
He's got mental health.
No, but that's that. I don't think it's you to diagnose him. I think he's done. But I'm saying that he's done. No, but I think he's done that since he started. He was a producer. People were like, no, you can't rap. He got into rap. You can't make clothes. He's made clothes. You can't do trainers. He's done trainers. Like, if you listen to what people are saying he can't do,
it's the same.
You can't wife Kim K. His wife Kim K.
It's the same trend, but a different piece of content.
It's. I feel like if you want to do something, or you can do it. If you get hate, you get hate. But I feel like the saying is like, God gives you talent, and whatever, whether you say the devil or whatever, gives you fame. And I think that's it. Like, whatever talent you've got, if you become famous, you're gonna get a bit of both.
And do you not think that fame crushes people more than it? Well, not more.
Because I feel like people aren't, or I would say celebrities aren't secure enough to be who they are. I think that's it.
And especially instant celebs.
Yeah.
Ones that haven't had time to make that support.
And don't get the A&R and to be able to.
Like, you think about it, but before the Love Island show, no one knows who they are, and then when it comes to it, they're literally signing their life away on that contract from there on, because they don't own it. Because as far as that goes, your life is the world now. So unless you're mentally ready, which I don't think many of them are mentally ready, if they get caught up, they just see the fame, everything in your head goes straight into it.
I think this year, I think they were a little bit more, because they saw how the platform was last year. But the first couple of seasons, because no one knew it was going to blow how it was.
I only saw last year still. That's the only one I actually watched. That's good about it.
Yeah, I watched it.
Adam's a revelation.
Why lying for? Why lying?
No, we had a conversation before.
Why not you lying?
I've never watched it.
My girl watches it.
Watching that for?
Because it's lit, that's why.
It might be, wait, let me use this yet. Let me use this now. It might be worth having a conversation about it.
What's your reason for not watching it?
Got a life.
Wait,
That hip hop life.
No. You can't say that, bro. Because if that's the case, you won't watch no TV at all.
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
Do you watch any? Do you watch any?
Better by
what
you.
TV shows do you watch?
Better by
Oh my God!
Game of Thrones is
Wait, I'm confused. What TV shows do you watch?
I didn't really
Friday.
watch. I didn't really watch.
What's that?
Style of the documentary.
I don't really watch TV tonight.
Yeah.
More on the station, innit?
Alright, well, Love Island is a show where there's X amount of males, X amount of females, and like you sort of go on various dates, you do various things. You're in a villa.
No, I've heard people talk about it, but
So you know the concept?
I know roughly the concept.
Alright, well, let's go on to this topic. If all of us are on Love Island, obviously if we're all single, what do you think would happen?
Be a mazza.
Who do you think will be out first? Who do you think will get kicked off first?
Just really.
It's got a life real. It's too real.
I don't think you would.
It depends who's on there, innit?
You know what Justin would do? Do something like just roll out in bed in his boxes shorts, go to the diary room, boxing up a cereal, and just not even saying it.
So
Just
wait,
chop 5 minutes.
are you paired up with like new things?
No,
Are you paired up
so
with,
like, let's-
from your past.
No,
That's X on the beach, innit?
Yeah, it's a new thing. So like, this man will walk out near the beach. Yeah,
Shoes, man.
man's got his slippers on. Man will walk.
I'm in.
So man will walk out, and then there'll be.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Yo, he's out first. He's out.
You get me? Insect into what's it called? What is it?
I believe I can fly.
No, the slipper flew. But yeah, man will walk out, stand up, and then the girl will like sort of point. I want him for the first date. I want him for the first date. And then like during the weeks, you sort of switch over. Yeah, so like Love Island. If all of us were in Love Island, all of us tanning up there at the front, and the girl had to choose, who do you think would get picked last, potentially go home? If we're all single, because I know obviously.
What a question to ask a bunch of man them, because no.
Alright, so you think he's going home? He thinks he's going home. Alright, you think he's going home?
Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
I'm just saying, innit? I'm just saying.
I ain't going home, bro.
Okay,
that's all I'm
who do you think's
saying.
going home then? Who do you think's going home?
Did the girl then pick one?
Yeah, so what? They normally have to like introduce themselves.
Okay.
Oh shit, AG double. So they have to introduce themselves and then just do it. Maybe say a couple things. Then the girls are sitting down saying, "I wanna have him for my first date. I wanna have him for my first date," sort of thing.
I'm Bourneville, so I'm 100% getting like picked up.
Man said Bourneville.
I don't care, bro.
Blood, that chocolate is dead. Bourneville.
Wait. Marlon's got a question.
To you, blood. You like fucking Milky Way, bro.
Any you man eat Bourneville.
Wait, Marlon's got a question.
Bourneville.
What does that mean?
Bourneville.
What does it mean?
It's dark chocolate, innit? That's what it is. It's dark chocolate.
Yo, that can't be no fancy thing.
It's cameras. There's a whole. What's it called? Fancy thing, man. Big man. No, bro. There's a whole street. There's a whole street.
Who is Bourneville, blood? Who is Bourneville?
Put your hands over your Bourneville.
Who is Bourneville?
He don't even eat it himself.
No, I ain't answering the question like that.
He don't even eat it himself. He don't even put his hand on
I've got a drinking chocolate still. I've got a drinking chocolate still. What?
Yeah, but you don't eat Bourneville. You got the drinking chocolate.
Bourneville.
That's because Bourneville's teeth.
A man
I don't eat chocolate like that. No,
If I said Bourneville's teeth,
I'm gonna bring it.
call it some Bourneville.
some Bourneville.
He's not going to bring some
I mean, he's going over first. Yo, the girl like Bourneville. Jason Bourne. Yo, Jason Bourne. What's his name? Jason Bourne. I'm not picking I'm not picking Jason Bourne. Bourne, you know.
You man need to relax.
Yo. So, okay.
So that's all stemmed from him going out first.
No, him get picked first.
Oh, right.
Because of Bourneville.
Because it's Bourneville.
He's not even. I don't even think. You're not the only dark chocolate guy here.
Big man.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm up there.
No, listen, man go shop. Man go shop, yeah, and buy Bourneville, yeah. And the man behind the counter will laugh at you.
Allow it.
No, or get out some flowers and Bourneville. See what she does, isn't it?
She's mad at you.
So put the Bourneville.
What are you doing?
The flowers are in your grill.
Them dark chocolate. They get finished in the pack room, boy.
What?
They get finished. Last.
Right, so other than certain people, who else do you think will? Okay, let's do the opposite. Who do you think will build it? Like top three. I don't know.
In the group.
Like top three. Who you think would stay in? Because obviously each week.
I'm in.
Do you make top three?
In.
Yeah, I'll go.
You said that you don't.
I am. You're there with me.
No, we're there. Me and you top three.
Right, top three.
Yeah,
One more place in it. One more place.
How would you make top 3? What type of person would you be like in there to make top 3?
I think I'm a nice guy.
Right then, that's what you're saying top 3, but would you? Wait.
You're saying top 3.
I wouldn't last. Why not? I wouldn't last. I would last at the house, but the public would know what I'm doing. Yeah, of course. Like,
the public should know what I'm doing.
It's a game show. The man that go in there and talk all that feelings and whatever, fair enough, but some of them are saps. Like, it doesn't make no sense.
I'm not a
If
sap.
a girl's picking me, I'm going to have a game plan. The game plan is, if a girl goes over to you, you find out what she's on. Like, listen, I'm not on nothing serious, really. There's P to be won. If you're on it, you might
Get them.
Did man see what Adam did? Did see how savage Adam went on?
Adam went on 6.
No, listen, that's what I'm saying. But no one.
But he said, yeah, but he was sapping. Even me, I wouldn't even be sapping with it.
Was it Adam and Eve? Were they paired up?
I'm top 3 still. Got baby oil and I got chicken.
And they've got baby oil and they've got chicken.
No, imagine him on a date though. Yo, you finish that food?
Babes, you gonna finish that? Babes, you want that?
Yo, wait up. 2 pies, man. 2 pies.
The man know how much grease is in that whole set.
And then you alright then, and then think about the tasks.
Yeah.
Think about the task. You really gonna be the last 3?
Yeah.
Because certain things I do. Like say for instance, yo, listen, they could be doing. Alright then, I don't know if they've done that, but they'll do things like, say for instance, flipping. One man has a thing in his mouth, you gotta pass it to the other guy. I ain't doing all that. Right then. So when you say top 3,
yes, hold on. No, you don't. You just don't get the benefits.
No,
they're games, isn't it?
I think
to get like the secret room.
I think you're missing what you're saying. He's gonna walk out before he has to do anything. He's not the one you're pushing.
Man to man.
Yeah, I just won't do that.
Take the hammer and gavel away.
No, that's just an example. I'm not saying that actually happened. I'm saying those kind of tasks. Those kind of tasks. Put man tasks.
So you see with that, you doing that? Are you doing them kind of tasks?
No. Then you don't mean I'm gonna get kicked out. No, but you get kicked out.
On a level where it's just like between the people then.
Yeah, when it comes to votes.
But when it comes to the task, I'm not in. Like on a team player thing, sorry. They'll be like, nah.
So you know with this whole show, do you have to do like a
you don't have to do that.
Like no, I'm just talking like if do you have to do like a bio?
Yeah.
Like say, I'm this.
Yeah. That's
So you think you'd be top 3?
That one.
You think you'd be top 3?
Yo, it's case man deteriorating rapid, isn't it?
That's not my mannerism. I'm just listen. You know me. I kind of just.
Alright, fella.
You said that 3 times.
You know
I'm alone in the room.
It's kind of like Big Brother. So you have to give a bio, all that. You have to sell it. The public has to kind of like
you can't just swag your way all the way through. People are gonna have to see something for life. Yeah, but that's in life, bro.
But you can't yourself out a top 3. I'm still saying top 3.
No, I'm still saying top 3.
I'm saying top 3.
But
how are you gonna do it
with the task? With the task, you can get to know me. Want to get to know me?
You know when it comes to actual votes,
you think you're getting votes?
Bourneville.
business. I'll get involved in that.
Yo, that Marcel vote. He's like Marcel, innit? Do you know how Marcel's getting the sympathy votes?
No.
You get it? No, because Bourneville, innit? Like, if people start calling you Bourneville,
He's taking limits.
listen, if you tell a girl you're Bourneville,
I am not gonna walk the vision. Yo, look, yes I do. But either way, no. Either way,
Get a Bourneville thing for
I'm not that guy.
on his t-shirt.
I am not that guy, blood. You are not gonna see me come in there and say, "Oh, I didn't really want to tell people this, but
Bourneville.
I sang a song, Crossroads." Part of flipping. No, bro, I'm not doing that, bro.
DJ, yeah.
I'm not doing that, bro.
you're not going to tell a girl you're Bourneville. I don't get it.
So how am I gonna get a sympathy vote on Bourneville, blood?
On the first
No one buys it.
No one buys it.
It's better. Shut up,
Get banter.
Negative.
I'll just take the Bourneville.
That's
I've got the last
What was
one.
the girl that chose? What was the girl that chose his name? The blonde-haired girl. What's her name?
Gabby.
Check it. Me nose.
That was
yo, bro, I'm not having it, bro.
Alright, so
I still can't
we
believe the top 3. Like, man, think they're top 3 and I haven't even got a bio. Just saying.
yeah, I'm saying I'm top. So this is me, I think.
There's only one person.
Actually, I think one of these light skins will be top 3. One of it, like they get light.
I've got a question for you. Yeah.
This guy that's
I've got a
quiet,
question
innit?
for you. Yeah.
The quiet one.
What if you get with something, you're nice, everything like that. This next thing comes in and she's beastie for you.
God, mate.
I'm
Megan. Shout out Megan.
Yo, you doing that? Yeah, you go.
I'm doing that. Shout out to West.
Who knows? Josh.
So you playing the game
He
then?
did it as well,
Game
Josh.
shot. So I'm off what?
Josh was with
That was a perfect.
So I'm not bound to know what.
Thank you. This is exactly what I said at the beginning.
Hey, cameraman just wants to say one thing. So you watch Love Island, but you're here on Game of Thrones. That's all I'm saying.
That's it. Yeah, but we'll get to Game of Thrones another day. Josh, he was with Danny. He was with Danny first.
No, not Danny. He was with.
No, he was with Danny.
Was it?
Yeah. Loyal. He was with Danny.
No, that's
Georgia. Sorry, Georgia.
Georgia was dead from the get.
Georgia was alright though. I thought she was alright.
When she
I love the eyes. I love the eyes.
It's not enough.
Yeah, I love the eyes.
So should we hold
But yeah, no, when he moved over, but this is what I'm saying, he left his girl, got with Kaz, and he was still loved by
Yeah, because everyone understood that.
That was
an obvious move.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like when they realise that, yeah, okay, he's a.
Can we be included in the chance?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know who Kaz is and
Kaz is alright, you know.
Google Kaz, innit?
Listen,
Kaz is alright, you know.
Kaz is alright.
was any dark skins in there?
Marcel.
She was.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Samar.
Say it like that for.
What did you just say? Did you know what he said? What was it then? Somali.
Samira, that's She weren't dark skin, but she was dark. She was black, basically. She was black.
Yeah, and
Oh wow.
Shout to her.
yeah, they don't really cater for people of colour.
And I think she raised that still.
I'm in.
No,
Why are you in?
males as well. They don't
Sorry,
really
hold on. Why are you in? What's this? Sorry. Why are you in?
So what?
No, I don't understand.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
You're involved because of what?
I'm in.
Why though?
Why are you not in?
The minute when you were out, way out, but now.
No, I'm out for the task, innit?
Yeah.
I'm out for the task.
I hope you lot pull up this for the record. Why he's back in?
Why am I sending you for the dark skins?
No, he ain't. It's the opposite. Is it not? I'm like, eye up to the camera.
I'm out.
Joke. That's joke.
Just a, oh
So yeah,
my God.
would you do the tasks?
I think you would still.
Any
Black
tasks?
tasks.
You would still.
No.
I think you would, you know.
You can't talk to me.
No.
Both of you in it. One thing, yeah.
Everyone in it. I think it's
Yeah.
Everyone's shaming it, bro.
Okay. Check Bourneville.
Bourneville's trying to get top top three.
I am comfortable with my sexuality,
Hold
blood.
on, so you do that?
Sexuality? What do you mean, bro?
Like passing Bourneville from mouth to mouth.
Yeah, pass it forward.
I'm not gonna be sleeping with a man. It's
No.
Listen to this question. Listen to this question.
So you pass a piece of Bourneville chocolate from your mouth to another man's mouth.
Yes or no? If it's part of the task.
Yes or no?
No, because you're asking like a general.
No, alright.
If it's part of the task, why not?
I'm
You pass your Bourneville to Jusser.
I'm out.
When you pass your Bourneville,
Man ain't limpsy me, man.
I ain't lip sync.
No, when you say pass it to just what? The bar of chocolate.
Yeah, it's in your mouth.
that melts as well.
That's what I'm saying. They're signing the life away. They're signing the life away. They're signing the life away.
Yo, Hen's trying to get
I have no sexual feelings towards the next man.
So are you going to pass the Bourneville mouth to mouth, yes or no?
I just said I would for the challenge, bro. Why not?
Jusser.
No.
He said yeah. You gotta learn a day. You gotta learn a day. What he said?
When the kids ask him and he says, "What I did it for money." I can't look at my son and tell him I passed some Bourneville to the next nigga. You know what I mean? I thought that.
Well, then you got to look at the motive of these people that are going on these shows. I mean, they're doing it for fame.
Yo, it's quick fame. This is why. Listen. What's the win? It's quick fame. This is why they're mentally not ready. They're mentally not ready. The quick fame. They forget about the backlash.
I know you won't, but if you ever do, we're here for you. On a rebound, we'll come out.
I'm not.
You got my.
I'll take all you man women still. You can get to the dance and it's lit. That's because I passed the fucking Bourneville, blood.
I don't think you'll win. You might get top three. Top three.
I'd get public vote. I think I would get the highest public vote. It's just the house.
It's 50k you win, right?
That's what I think. It's as simple as that.
So can I ask then? Because obviously the ultimate thing is money, right? It's money and fame. So what's the win prize? What do you get if you win?
I think it's 50k.
So 50k. Wait, what? Do you have to split that with the gal?
Yeah, between you and the
So
girl,
25k.
25 racks.
So you decide that at the end as well.
So man lips in the man, yeah, and then you have to share your money with the gal. Huh?
Lips in the man.
Man, alright.
That's not the fun.
That's not the thing. That doesn't happen. That's just a
It
conversation.
could happen though, innit?
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It could be a task,
but it's
But then you
never
got to split the
happened.
money with the gal.
Yes.
Okay, so for instance,
What is wrong with
so what if you
that?
what if you get all up in your feelings with one of these things, and then
Then it's a bonus.
Then she chooses the next man.
Oh, then you're and I'm sure that's
What was that brother? That doctor? He was there.
And his thing was fire. I don't understand.
He got friend zoned so much.
Alexandra was on it.
Alexandra came in.
Yeah,
but
straight eyes.
she was trying to finesse him with Pete. She did not like
It must have been called when that black brother was in there. When that black brother was in there, the Birmingham youth. The boxer brother.
Yeah.
And like,
Listen,
and she would have chosen him, but she was thinking of the bigger
Exactly,
picture.
the same with Gabby and Marcel. Gabby liked, was it Mike? She liked Mike.
Yeah, for real.
How you gone from Mike to Bourneville?
That's two different complexities.
So you might got favourites on this show.
No, you end up.
Yeah, Black Jack.
Oliver Jack.
Yeah.
No, it was cold.
It is a joke.
No, it's sick as man.
Obviously it's a girl, but I'm saying like characters who. No, you watch it.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
I was late to the man that was joking it. Like
they're Trinity.
Favorite character? Gal and man.
I had most joke watching Josh and like Jack like banter.
Josh, Jack, and
What about Wes?
and Wes.
No, I didn't really. Wes wasn't. He was a part. He was a part. He didn't know what was happening. But for Gal, Megan. Even with a true
She's playing the game.
As a girl, Google Megan. She's single now.
Markle.
I don't know.
Good.
Hey,
The thingy.
that got lost on me. I didn't know that.
You man are stupid for him for that. Because he's waiting for a man to do that.
I don't know that. I don't watch Suits for a family. Suits. I don't watch Suits.
Suits is fire, by the way. Shout out Harvey, Mike, my guys.
A man. Okay.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I think we cleared that up. We know who's definitely getting kicked out of the show. No names mentioned.
Not me.
Okay, so next topic. I don't know if you lot have been listening to any new music, but Kodak Black's released another track where he's he's selling for Young MA.
Beat him up. She will generally beat him up. If they see each other face to face, he's getting knocked out.
But she said that like, I'm gonna see him. I'm gonna see him.
She's going to knock him out. No, and he's gonna catch a fade.
In the song, it basically says, "Oh, if she's got the coochie, it was smash."
I don't think that's a bad thing.
It's
like,
not because she's a woman, but she don't look like a woman.
She takes a bad thing. Like,
no, listen, he knows what he was doing with that.
Yeah. The way
and she took mad offence to it.
No, but
and there was a picture of her and Nicki Minaj together, and he says, "I'll smash both of you." So on the comments, everyone in the world can see. She's thought, nah, not me. Like, nah, not this.
no,
not
but
this
she does that to everyone. Every other girl, she's like, yeah, I'll turn her lesbian. I'll turn her lesbian.
Yeah.
But then when someone says for her, she's like, what? No, I'll slow your roll.
Which is meant to be natural because she is a woman. She might not really look like one, but she is a woman.
She looks like
So it's right. She just dressed like.
I don't know.
But I can remember someone. I'm not gonna say names. Hopefully, he announces himself.
Me, bro.
There we go straight away.
That's why I'm ready to over it. That's why I'm ready to turn up.
Mr. Bone, baby.
Order in the court. Order.
Say what you're saying up there.
A young fella did say that Young MA could deal with his girl better than he could.
Not mine, bro.
He didn't say that.
Don't do that.
Oh.
Don't do that. Because man, I got the receipts. I'm saying he could take certain man and probably broke him up better than certain man would.
He can take certain man.
Young MA.
That's how I see Young MA. I don't see her like she's a gal blur, but she is, and as a result of that, she's got the best of two finesses. She goes on like a man, but
what?
But so this is like a gal blur.
Just so I'm clear, was you on about your gal or just a gal in
I was
general?
talking about gal in general.
Right.
Because there was something that came out before then, where like basically I think it was it Bow Wow's gal or something.
Yeah, she
that like
took Bow Wow.
she took Bow Wow's gal, and obviously like how she explained it was like, oh well, she's like a real man, but at the same time she knows exactly how a woman wants to be pleased and all that. Which, to be fair, it's an uneven advantage. If I'm looking at
So
it,
you'd lose. If you know it was a Love Island and there's one girl there
and she finessed her for the night, I'm bowing out.
Are you knocking her out? Are you knocking her out?
Is she finessing?
Oh, yeah, man.
I'm just saying, Young MA, you ain't taking my girl.
Straight up.
No, like that's yourself. The worst thing is when you say that, like, you know, when women say, "Cause she's a woman," they know what thing.
I don't think that's necessarily true though.
Man just need to listen more. That's all it is. Don't
You know one of the woman's voting on the podcast to listen more.
Back to Kodak. Kodak's put on a
Bring him back next week. We like this character.
No, Mola's right. We all need to listen more. I'm trying to get this vote. Yo, he is right. Yeah, we do need to listen more, ladies. Yeah, endeavour to listen more.
Yeah. Always.
You know, it's like just a single man that shouting, you need to listen more.
I'm over it.
Pardon? Got him. But Kodak Black's been on a madness. I don't know if you seen a couple of weeks ago. He sent for Wheezy. So he was in Miami. So where's Wheezy?
Too much lean, man. He drinks too much lean.
Yeah, and
How are you gonna send for Weezy?
Wheezy, for me, he's like, even if man don't say he's the greatest ever, he's in the GOAT.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
He's in a good conversation.
yeah, 100%.
I won't call him the greatest ever, but I respect his work.
Yeah, like
it's not there. It's absolutely up there. Like, I don't like everything of his, but the stuff I do love about over.
It's a bit skateboardy, innit? It's a bit kind of bumpy, bounce around.
One album.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean. It's not
That man was
majority.
spitting that real stuff. But the joke is like, what man needs to understand about Wheezy, is that like he's got a run. Like he's up there with the rappers that have had their own run. So like when you say stuff like that, you mean like, all right, DMX, he had a run solidly. He came out with back-to-back albums, had a run.
So there you go.
No, what are we talking about right now?
I'm just talking about Lil Wayne, bro.
Because you were at him.
Yeah, but either way, did man hear that story though, where the Kodak Black was saying that he's seen sticky fingers on the tour bus?
I didn't see that either.
So basically, how he told the story is that like he was on tour and sticky fingers came on the tour bus rearing off and whatever. And how he described it is like, oh, I just didn't like his old head energy. Like he's just acting like he's old. He's even saying old guy stuff. So with the whole sticky finger stuff, so we got on the tour bus, and basically it was rolling off his mouth. And how Kodak Black was saying is, he just like his whole thing is that he doesn't like people that are like born of a certain era. So like he'll just call them old heads, and he was like, I don't even like his energy. He's just acting old. He's saying old stuff. So he's gone to smack him, and like he's floored him. So no, that's how he said it. He's floored him. And then he's looked in his bag and whatever, saw a gun in the bag, gone to clap him, but it was a fake gun. But he was saying that he's flinching at him pointing a fake gun that's supposed to be his.
Get him throughout.
Sticky finger.
Get him throughout.
Yo, it's a wild story. You know that your gun is fake, you're not flinching.
No, but you might not have seen him pull it out of the bag.
Yeah,
that's all I can say. But otherwise, that's a mad thing.
That's what
You're not going to slow
Surely you recognise it.
Let's catch the ball here.
Once pulled out his bag and flinched.
So are we on the side of saying that Kodak's wilding?
Yeah, wilding.
He's always wilding.
Do you think he's doing that Takashi type thing, just doing anything
But he
to get
didn't
viral?
need to, though. He already had a buzz, so I don't get where this is coming from.
Keep it.
Because he's going to get punched up by a young man.
You see that young Ma or whatever? I read some earlier today, research better. That he took it back. He said it was a banner, basically.
Yeah, because he didn't want it to be serious.
He didn't want that smoke.
That song's out there though.
Yeah, we did another track after, and then she's like, yeah, when I see
I
it.
didn't want that.
What makes you think she'll punch him up? Just because she's bigger than him?
No, they're on the same side.
That bitch out, mate.
Nah, fam. Like, yo, your mate looks like she could. She
Yeah, what? She begged you.
She beat you up. Did she beat you up?
20.
I don't fight.
No, I'm saying
not
like,
fighting.
I'm saying
No, what-
That's why he said not fight, beat you up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what he said. He didn't say fight. He said beat you up.
Still, I didn't say.
So if you're not fighting back, she's thumping you down.
No, we'll have a conversation. It'll be cool.
I like that conversation.
I'll be like, yo,
the weird.
Bourneville's got some girl. Let's go get the girl off Bourneville. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna be happy with that.
I don't get girl like that, B.
Oh, you don't, no?
No.
Boxing it down. Touching it.
Better.
Okay, so we've done that. I think it's down to the last topic. What?
What's up in the lift? Not me. Not me.
Who's getting some out? Just who? Who was you talking about? Alright. Okay, we'll go to the last topic. Fergie time now. Fergie time. Obviously, it's internationals, as we can see. The England squad. Do we think it's a decent squad, dead squad? Who do you think the best player is for England now? Like, there's so much. Do you know what? Like, it's one of the first times ever. I didn't even have a look at the squad. I don't really support England.
I'm excited for the England squad this year. The fact that they've gone with the youngsters as well.
Is Rashford in it? Or is he?
I think he's injured. You know?
He's injured, isn't it?
I think he's injured. I think it's Kane in it. It'll be Kane in it.
I'm just happy to see Sancho in there.
I was about to say Sancho.
Sancho.
I'm looking at Sancho and Sterling, mate.
Yo, that's
I think Sterling's England's best player. I think he's England's best player. I know everyone's like balling for Kane.
So we're focusing the team around Kane.
Sterling's world class.
Next level.
Like
Next level.
I think it's it. I seen
a video of Sancho this morning on Twitter.
With Maguire.
Batters
With Maguire. Ankles.
Turns over.
Ankles.
Yeah. The penalty. Did you see the penalty?
Panenka
horrible.
Decent.
Horrible.
Sancho is different.
For me, it's a sign though, isn't it? For all these youngsters that can't get into first team football. Chelsea. Go abroad, man. Just go abroad.
Sancho. But saying that England got...
Is he 19?
Yeah, England got clear right back, so that's one thing as well.
Arnold.
I'd hate to be a freaking right back.
Arnold, yeah, injured.
That's one
Kyle
thing.
Walker.
Yeah, Kyle Walker.
Trips.
Trent.
Delph can play there.
Yeah.
Delph, yeah?
No, don't play fullback now, isn't it?
Yeah, just Smalling and they're players, isn't it?
Bit of players.
And
Some United.
Yeah.
I was prepared.
Yeah, Zidane's in. Robert Tritt. Zidane's the one you got Robert Tritt, isn't it?
It's facts. It's facts.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know, innit?
You thought he was going to say England squad.
We're going to try and troll me
Do you know what the roulette is yet?
No, I didn't Google that. I need to do that, man.
So what do you think to England squad? What do you think?
I have no views on it.
I thought
Yeah, I heard that today on the news.
It's not Patrice. It's not Patrice.
Exactly, man, like Ever and them.
Not Patrice.
What, the French man then? What do you think of the French squad?
I don't have a clue.
Listen, name me three. Name me three French players.
If it begins with a P, he's got you still.
He's got one.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, next week I got.
Do you know 3 English players?
Yeah, do you know? Yeah.
You gotta know 3 English players.
Why? I don't do football.
We mentioned.
Okay, Rashford,
Yeah.
Trippier.
Wait. We mentioned.
I like it.
Okay. Yeah. Better by you.
You know what? No one ever mentions Trippier.
Ever. That's how you know man's not this shit. Kieran, though, right? Kieran. Kieran Trippier. Is it not? Kieran Trippier, innit? Yeah, man, it's Kieran.
Why do you say what team he plays for? His name's Kieran, right? Why do you say for Spurs? Why knows?
Well, that'll be it.
No, yeah. Shout out Kieran. Shout out Kieran. Kelvin.
Sort of like that.
Yeah. All right. So this is the DJM podcast. Thank you for tuning in. See us on the rebound.
We're gonna do it again, yeah? Shit.